Emmanuel, you are muted. You are muted. Yep, yep, I know.
Thank you, team. I appreciate y'all. Yeah, from the top, good evening. Good evening. Welcome back to the Builder Challenge. This is week 8, and so happy to have you here. And also, a little bit sad because this is demo day week. This is our last week of curriculum. But don't worry, we still have some events for you all, both in person and virtual, for you to attend. And yeah, I'm very sad that this is our last week having this type of call. We've made a lot of progress. We've gone through so much together, and we're going to end, and we're going to finish strong at this final week. All right. So before we begin, we'll be going and sharing content in a recap from week 7, giving some quick shout outs to builders who are really putting in the work from the last week, moving on. And we'll cover a final lecture. We'll cover some content about making the video, as well as a quick recap from week 7, specifically for making your video. And then we'll end with a hangout session instead of going directly to the lab. All right, so get your Twitter fingers ready. one last time. Press 1 in the chat if you recorded a bad video. Press 1 in the chat if you recorded a bad video. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Brooks. Thank you, Marlo. Awesome. Thanks, Michael. Nice. Nice. Actually came up with an acronym for bad. I can't say it over stream though, else I'll get in trouble. But just think of it as a really cool first draft. That's a PG-13 version. Press 2 in the chat if you posted your video either on school or if you posted it on socials. There we go. The deuces are flowing in. Thanks, Brooks. Thanks, Jessica. And then lastly, press 3 if you submitted in the week 7 form. We're seeing a bunch of form responses. Like the catch up kings, the catch up queens are catching up, and we love to see it. Amazing. Thank you. Sounds good, Doc. You still got time. It's all good. All right. So for the builders who pressed 1 inside the chat, how did it feel to finish their first video? Getting your first bad video out of the way. And not just to say, your videos were actually really good. They weren't bad at all. Bad is just an acronym for the first draft. But the content display was really good. Doc says, I hate being on camera, but I do look gorgeous. Hey, Doc, don't hide the sauce, man. You gotta let the sauce out. And for the builders who went ahead and made their first bad video, which is actually a good video, what will you update or change in your next video? Jessica says it's felt good to start putting all the pieces together. Awesome. It sounds like it's all starting to come full circle. It's amazing to hear. And a quick shout out again to everyone who completed the bad video. It's not easy recording yourself on camera. Recording something is not easy, but I promise you, no one is taking a magnifying glass and looking at or magnifying your insecurities. Getting out of the way the first time is what matters most. And after that, you can iterate, update, change things as needed. Thank you, Jessica, for sharing. Jessica says, for 500, I want to film it in a couple of different locations rather than just my office. Ashley says, it's felt good. I'm glad we were able to start over a draft. I'll definitely make some changes. Nice, nice. Yeah, when I used to write in school, I used to hate the rough draft process. I would try to get done the first time. But the problem with that is you think everything looks great the first time. And then you turn around a day later, you look at your work, and you're like, oh snap! Like I done misspelled all these different words. I done said this at 3 a.m. Like what was going on with this? So the first draft, the first bad video gives you a really cool chance to make it better next time go around. So this is exactly what we're going to make you do this week for demo day for your final task and assignment. Before that, I want to give some quick shout outs this week. Again, I wish I could shout out every person who submitted in their form this week, but I want to give some shout outs to 3 builders in particular. The first being Miss Garrita Tafari from Execute AI. Is our launch legend for this week. Segura launched, I believe, in 3 different places, as well as Product Hunt, which references the screenshot above, and actually got some feedback from some notable people. Congrats, Segura. And next we have Doc Scott, who is building the Responsible Adults. And for this, Doc, you have been awarded Catch Up Captain. We've been seeing the updates you've been making and you submitting your form, so congratulations. We respect and appreciate you hustling. Also, check out this article on Substack. It's really, really good read. And lastly, we have Miss Ashley Cohens, who's building Talkly, who submitted a really good and very creative video as our first draft, amazing first draft. Ashley, we award you the title of Video Virtuoso for this week. So if you did not make your demo video, you still have time, but please submit this in. Please submit this in no matter where you're at. We'll get into this later, but no matter where you're at, if you're on week 2, if you're on week 5, if you missed a few weeks, still submit in your demo video because you still have time. Next, we'll transition and give the spotlight over to Brother Brooks.
Hello, hello.
Ew. Mr. Empathetic Emmanuel, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. And why should people continue submitting their challenges? Because, as we announced last week, we'll have a separate prize category just for that. So I'll go ahead and make that announcement number 1. So for every challenge that you enter, you'll be entered into another prize drawing. And for all the builders that submit all of their challenges, they'll be entered into another separate prize drawing as well. So that's announcement number 1. Announcement number 2, if you want to hang out actually with the one of the founders of MBI.BC, Morgan Busby, really nice guy, a founder himself. He's going to answer questions about what they're looking for in people like that they invest in. I'm looking forward to like peppering them with questions. You guys can hop on with us tomorrow. We're going to record with them at 2 p.m. tomorrow. The link's in school in the classroom, just very, very low key. You'll be able to hop in there and we'll just hop on the call and we should be able to open up for questions for you guys too. Like towards the end, I'm sure we'll have plenty of time to do all that. So, but that call will be recorded. If you're not able to make it, we'll record the call so you can watch it later. I'm excited to connect with him. Number 3, July 18th. Where are we going to be? Where are we going to be, Paul?
Going to be right here in the innovation portal.
At the innovation portal, where we are, where Paul and I are right now in Mobile, Alabama. So in person, this is a chance. This is our other chance to get to meet IRL in real life. So we have a link that Paul should have it. If he doesn't, I'll find it for you. Yeah, make sure that you RSVP for me, and I'm going to make sure in all the communication in school and after this that you get that link. To just give me a heads up. It helps me know you're coming. Make sure that you want some space to be able to show your product to everyone that's going to be here. Some demo. We're going to have some of you up on stage with us doing like fireside chat type thing. And so make sure you fill out that form so that I can get a head count and know that stuff. It's really exciting. I mean, we're gonna have an AI workshop for 2 hours, a 3D printing workshop. If you want to come to that, there's pole vaulting on Dolphin Street the entire Saturday. It's like a really cool event. It's part of the reason why I chose this date. And then we're gonna have we're gonna have a coffee at 9 a.m. if you're already here. But if you just came, let's say you were like, man, I'm just gonna do a round trip thing. You could just come for the evening. The 6 o'clock to 8:30 will be like our main hangout celebratory event. Anyways, excited to meet all y'all and get to hang out in real life.
Quick question, Brooks.
Hit me.
Folks that have already RSVP'd via Luma for the celebratory event, should they still RSVP again with the link that's been given below?
Good question. That would be helpful. That would be very helpful for me because there's a few additional questions on there about like, hey, do you want space to be able to set up and showcase what you're working on? So whether that's like 7 of you guys or if it's 20 of you guys, that makes a big difference for me to being able to like prep the space up and everything. So yes, I don't know how, I guess we'll need to get that. Maybe we can put some information in Luma or something with that additional link or something as well. Yeah, that's a good question. Any other questions on that, Emmanuel? Because that's a good point.
And there's also an itinerary made. Just to let everybody know, Brooks has been working very hard on this for a long time, and this is just going to be a very full, exciting day.
Yeah, thanks, man. And we can let's see. I can get the link for Paul. I'll get him in a second. I'll put it in the slide for him to drop that. It's unlockalabama.org/builder-summit. Paul, I'll just put it in a message to you, and then you can drop it in the chat too. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited about the event. Honestly, the thing I'm most excited about is just getting to connect in real life with everyone that we've been just like hustling with over these weeks, right? So, on that note, I got 3 prizes. Let me announce 3 prizes real quick. I don't want to forget. This is an important part. I'm just going to shout you all out, all 3 of you. Number 1, Christina Eaton. Number 2, Ashley Cohens. Number 3, Fernando Acevedo. My 3 prize winners. We guys see you. Thank you for engaging. Thank you for doing your thing. Thank you so much. Send me a message. Send me a DM on school, and I'll get you sorted. And that's it. That's all we got.
Thank you, Brother Brooks. Appreciate you, Producer Paul.
Yes, sir.
Again, if you haven't RSVP'd, please RSVP. That's you either using the QR code that's on the top right of this screen over here, or using the link that's been dropped inside of the chat. This is an event you don't want to miss. It's going to be a ton of fun. All right, to access past week's session of the school, if there's content you would like to catch up on, the first thing you want to do is navigate to school. Inside of school, you're going to click on the classroom button over here in the top left corner. One moment, this might be a bit different, but the tabs are still the same. After you click on that, you want to click on the 8-week build challenge here. From there, you can access all our past recordings, including our AI workshop. We'll also post the upcoming call with MBI VC inside of here after it's been recorded. Excuse me. So quick happenings this week, as Brooks said earlier, we're going to be having a venture capital chat with MBI VC. That's going to be tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. CST. And we'll have our final office hours session from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. on Friday, July 10th. You can come to office hours, talk about anything ranging from your demo video to challenges you're stuck on with your project to just chopping up with myself and Brooks. All right. So coming up next is the lecture portion for week 8. But as you know, before we jump into that, we have to give a special shout out to our event sponsor, MBI Ventures, who we'll be having a conversation with tomorrow. You want to learn more about venture capital and fundraising, or even how to talk to VCs. And even if you have questions, it's great to ask these in person from a seasoned venture capitalist. A little bit of information about MBI. They are an operator-led venture firm that backs resilient founders with traction. They were anywhere from $100,000 to $500,000 checks. They've currently invested in over 15 companies thus far in over 5 different sectors, and they're looking for awesome founders just like you. For founders that have been putting in the work, who've been consistent, who've been building consistently. If you're interested in raising venture capital, I highly recommend you check them out at www.mbi.vc, and or come and swing by tomorrow's VC chat and ask some questions. Doc asks, is there any way we can get a push notification for tomorrow and maybe even office hours this Friday? I believe if you have notifications turned on inside of the school app, if you have school downloaded on your phone, you should receive notifications that way. If not, I'll probably have to find a way to turn it on. It might have to share instructions inside of school. Or I'll message you and let you know. Me personally. All right. So next, for our main event, you will be making another video. So your video this time will be 1 to 4 minutes long. Please no more than 4 minutes. And this video is going to be a recap of almost everything that you've done thus far in your progress that you've made with your project. And we're going to follow the same structure that we talked about during week 7. But don't worry, if you weren't there last week, we'll give a very quick recap of those items. And this video will be stitched together live this should be next Tuesday, July 14th at 6 p.m. CST. So in lieu of, if we were to have a week 9 session, think about that as our live watch party, where everyone's demo day videos will be stitched together, and we'll watch them live on YouTube. You can send a link to family, to friends, and we'll share that link with you so they can RSVP and see all their demos. As well as your video will be on your Unlock Alabama builder profile afterwards. So if you go to network.unlockalabama.org, this is a site where you can visit everyone's profiles. So in your own builder profile, after you upload your video, you'll be able to see it shortly inside of here. And so no matter how much progress you've made, no matter how much little progress you've made, no matter where you're at, please make the video. If you're still on week 2, still on week 3, if you miss a few weeks, if you're stuck on week 6, it's okay. I'd say no matter where you're at, make the video with the content you currently have, with the progress you have, with the metrics you have. Please use that. So please still make the video. This is your race and your journey. And I think this is a really exciting opportunity to take something from a program you've been in for the past 8 weeks and making a recap of all the progress you've made. There's a way to make yourself proud, make your future self proud. And please use what you've got. If you don't have a laptop and all you got is your phone camera, please use that. If you don't have access to a high fidelity mic and you just have the mic that you're stuck with on your device, use that. Please don't go out and buy any fancy equipment. Please use the software that you already have. So some requirements. The first one, if you can, please record in landscape mode. It's going to be the long horizontal format rather than the vertical format. Please show your face and use your voice if possible too. We would love to see all your beautiful faces and listen to your beautiful voices that you have. If you can't do this, we understand, but we highly encourage you to put yourself out there. Next, inside your video, share some media, share pictures, share screen recordings, other videos of you working on your project, of anything else that you like to sort of relate to your project, behind the scenes content. And keep it interesting because this is your project. And lastly, please keep it underneath 4 minutes long. If you go a little bit over, that's okay. But please keep it at this time or underneath 4 minutes. And lastly, have fun with this. I think a lot of people can overthink their demo day video, but I promise you that this is not for a grade. This is just something for you to keep with you, and something we'll share on our side for all the progress that you've made in your 8-week builder journey. So I recommend having fun with it, no matter where you're at. Hashtag YOLO. So the deadline to submit your video is going to be on Sunday, July 12th at 11:59 p.m. CST. I'll say it one more time. It's going to be on Sunday, July 12th at 11:59 p.m. CST. This is specifically for if you want your video to be, if you want to see your video on the watch party call. If you submit it after this deadline, it will not be available to see. I'm going to take all the videos and stitch them together. It's going to be really nice, and we're gonna watch it. We're gonna watch it live. Brooks has also said inside the chat that this deadline is also the deadline to submit all your challenges for the final prize drawing. So if you still would like to win a prize, if you have not won a prize yet, if you submit in your video before the deadline, you have the opportunity to win a prize. So I'd say go for it. All right, now here we're going to do a quick recap of making the video. Please note that the structure and content is the same content covered during week 7. Also, Brooks said if you won before, you can win again. So if you're feeling hot, if you got that itch in your palms, go ahead and submit in the week 8 form with your next video. All right, so for those that couldn't make it to week 7, please note the next questions that we're going to cover here are questions that are just meant to prompt your mind, and you don't have to answer all of them for your video. I've seen from some submissions, it looks like people are writing scripts. So writing a script is something you can do if you're not comfortable with talking off the cuff, or if you don't want to write an outline. You can certainly write a script. I'd say if you write a script, be careful for your eyes, because sometimes it can be visible if you're reading, looking left or right, while recording yourself reading your script. So I just want to mention that for some folks. So the structure for making a really good video, first we're going to start off with the introduction. This is where you'll tell the audience a little bit or a lot about you. I recommend keeping this underneath a minute long to 30 seconds to a minute long, as you only have 4 minutes for this entire video. So here you can talk about who you are. You can share background information. If there's information about your why from all the way back from week 1, if you wrote down your why, share that. If there's something that you do that's relevant to your project, share that too. As well as if you want to share what got you started on this journey. Next is your project. And that's pretty self-explanatory. This is what you've been dedicating yourself to for the last 7 weeks. This makes 8 weeks. And here, this is information that we kind of went over during week 1, where you just still, once your one-liner for your idea, and talk about what you're building, as well as your original goal, if you want to include that. If you want to talk about your ICP, your initial customer profile, you can talk about your user, your customer, if you've identified who they are, If you like to share the evolution between your toy version of your MVP or your V1 or your first take, feel free to share that. And then you could even compare it with the version of your project that you have now. Next is the process. And these are about your actions that you took during the Builder Challenge. So you can talk about your inputs, actions about building in public. If there's things that you did that you feel building in private, things that you didn't share online, you feel free to share those if you like. Also inside of the Builder Network, you can see your previous posts. Or if you want to go back on school, if there's something you need a refresher on, you can look back at your previous posts, something you want to include. I've seen a few builders do that, which has been really creative. And here you talk about, again, the things that you did in order to make progress and take further your goal. If you want to talk about your project's evolution over time, that's something you can do. If you want to share, the places where you launched, the number of times you launched, or if you pivoted, you can talk about this as well. Again, all these questions, these are optional. It's just meant to get your mind going for telling this story. If there's other things you want to include that aren't questions here or aren't listed here, feel free to toss them in. This is just a guide. Next is progress. And this is where you talk about the results and your outcomes. And again, I would like for you not to be modest here. This is your time to brag. This is your time to spill your sauce and share it with the world. If you want to talk about progress related to your goal, if there are achievements that you've made for your goal, if there's ways that you've transformed personally, professionally, insights that you learned, share those things here. If there were challenges that you faced or constraints that you faced, talk about them. If you're a parent, if you work a 9 to 5, if you work third shift, if you're a student, if you're juggling multiple jobs and other priorities, talk about that. That all feeds into your story. Christina asks, what if you have no beta testers? That's something you can ask for. You can ask for, I'd say during the end, you can ask for beta testers. You can make that your call to action at the end of your video. Great question. If you're unemployed, you can talk about that too. I think that's something real. And when it comes to your story, no one else can tell it better than you can. Because it's pretty amazing to talk about you building something in public with other constraints and other obstacles. I also want to shout out to Paul really quickly, producer Paul, who wrote I don't think we ever talked about this on stream. So Paul wrote a manifesto about Unlock Alabama back in, I want to say December of 2025. So what's that? That's over 7 months ago. He wrote this manifesto, which was a very long document. And I talked about the problem that he noticed Alabamians were facing and when it came to them perceiving themselves as builders, and talked about some of the constraints he was facing. Maybe he may come off of live talk about it. He's also dropped a link inside the chat at hack.al if that's a document you want to check out.
Yeah. I made that manifesto before like Brooks and Manuel and everybody was even here. I made that after we got the grant from Innovate Alabama, but before actually hiring everybody. And so that was like a nice little shot across the bow just to see what people would think about like something like this, something about builders being able to build something and having the focus be on the progress that they made, not necessarily the destination they got to. A lot of people saw it. If you're interested to seeing like what people responded to, I can let you know. I can send you some of the posts that I did publicly on Reddit. There's a lot of big reactions, a lot of small reactions, and very interesting reactions and funny ones too. But yeah, this is the thing that really started it off too.
We went Alabama viral on Reddit, man.
Yeah.
Alabama.
There's about 40,000 people in Alabama who saw it.
Alabama viral. Yeah. It's cool.
Paul, would you say it's come full circle that the builders now are the builders that you've imagined when you were first writing
Absolutely.
on this manifesto?
Like, look at the cool stuff that y'all did. Like, y'all went crazy on it. We've had like so many people filling out that form, right? You know, it may feel like individually, like, oh my gosh, I didn't fill out the form at all. But a lot of people filled out the form, and there's a lot of progress that people made on their projects and their ideas inside of this. And so, like, yeah, the builders are here, and we did it.
Shout out to you all. Thanks, Paul.
Yeah.
And lastly, on the fourth piece, on the progress piece, if you have metrics that you want to share, this is the time to brag about it and brag about you. If there's North Stars you set, you should share those metrics as well. And I think it's okay, no matter where you're at, to share these things, because you'll look at this if you're still working on your project post the program. You'll look back at this and you'll be really proud of yourself. But I think not creating your video is a missed opportunity to not document the special moment in time. The last piece are your learnings. And so if there's really key takeaways that you took from the program or feedback that you got, even feedback for us, for the Unlock Alabama team, we'd like for you to share that. If there's something you learned about being a builder, if you gained new skills, if there were unlocks that happened for you, or aha moments, if there's a mindset shift that took place, please share that inside of your video. If there are wins that you got from building in public, if you got a really cool connection, if you got to transform and become a different person than you were originally at the middle of May, share that. If you have next steps outlined for your own builder journey, if you're going to continue working on your projects, continue building on your app, continue working on your service, please mention that too. If there's also things we could have done better, please let us know as well. This is optional part for if you want to end on a certain note, you could talk about what's next. If you want to have beta testers, even for customers, for co-founders, or teammates, share that inside your video. The one thing people remember inside of your video is going to be a really good story and the ending. I think it's something I always take away whenever I watch videos, especially demo videos, or the ending and the story itself. Thank you, Doc, for sharing your feedback with us too. Next, we're going to move on to the what's next portion. So, again, you spent the past 8 weeks with us, the past 56 days, the past 2 months building with us in public. And there may be questions. Some of you may be wondering, where we go from here? What's after this journey? And I think there's a few things that you can do. One is you can keep going, which is something we'd love for you to do. You can review your progress, or review and reset your goal. If there's something else that you want to hit or attain for, feel free to go after it. Or you could currently iterate on what you have. You can keep adding new features. You can keep testing out new things. You can keep experimenting. because the journey honestly never stops. And in this piece here really wants you to do what feels good to you. This is a structure that we outlined to help people get started and to help a builder go from 0 to 1. And where you go after that is truly in your hands. So for some people, maybe you want to join an accelerator after this, or another startup incubator, or another program similar to this where you have accountability to work on your ideas. Maybe you want to raise capital from investors. You're super excited about hopping on tomorrow's call with MBI.VC, and you've got a plan to raise your seed stage or your Series A or an angel round. Or maybe you want to start a crowdfund and raise directly from your community. Maybe you want to launch into more places online. Maybe you want to launch on Product Hunt. Maybe you want to launch in person or inside of your community. Or if you want to talk to more customers. Or if you want to keep building out your own idea and doing your own thing your own way. Or work on something completely new. It's completely up to you. And I think it's very liberating. Sometimes it can be scary. If there's anything at all that we can help with, myself, Paul, Brooks, the Innovation Portal team, please let us know. We are here for you for life. I put this down. I'm pretty sure Paul and Brooks feel the same way. You can DM us about anything on LinkedIn, on school. Brooks, I believe Brooks said that this school community will be open for the Forecasting Future, I believe, until next year. Brooks, is that correct? Yes. So the whole community will still be open for you. And so Brooks and I plan to continue keeping the builder conversation energy alive. Yes, and we'll be having an anti-mastermind group inside of school weekly during the same time. So you want to keep on hanging out with us? We're here for you, and we'd love to support you and see where you go next. We also recommend repeating the build, measure, learn cycle with taking action of shipping something, measuring your feedback, and learning from it, and then repeating the cycle again. And lastly, whatever you decide to do next, we're super grateful that you chose to build with us and stick it through these entire 8 weeks. It's not easy. It's not an easy process to be in something, to stay. I think Brooks was talking about it in his video, that it's a good problem to have to stay accountable. And that's something that can be healthy, like a healthy stressor. And lastly, congratulations to you for sticking it out through with us again. If you stayed up late nights, if you did 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 iterations of a video of a LinkedIn post, if a LinkedIn post accidentally got deleted and you got to write it again from scratch, if you came through and talked with us on office hours, if you said a one-on-one with us on one of our calendar links, if you got to talk to another builder, if you talked to another guide, if you worked through bugs on editing your site or your app, if you sit up all night, trying to get your goal together, or retaking a video multiple times until it got right, or messing around with different AI tools to get something to work, or reaching out to someone, or reaching out to a user coldly, without any introductions, or staying up and having those calls, or having someone put time on your calendar and not show up. We just want to say congratulations to you. We know this journey is not easy at all. We hope it's been rewarding for you. And again, if there's anything that we can do to help you out, whatever next steps you take from here, please let us know. So I know it's super cliche to say give yourself a pat on the back, but I want you to go ahead and give yourself some dap on the back, please, because it's totally not easy, but it is worth it. All right, and next we are going to play a game. This game is called the Four Whys, and here, aka also known as Unpack the Onion, over at Brooks saying this. I thought it was pretty funny. So we're gonna play Unpack the Onion with Paul and Brooks. So Paul and Brooks are gonna come on stage.
Ew.
Unpack that onion. Is that what I said?
Unpack the Onion.
The things I
funny.
don't realize I actually said.
So I
Oh,
think
man.
Brooks and Paul were turned into R&B singers, and yeah, we're doing some kind of ASMR earlier.
We were whispering for like 27 minutes straight. We just kept whispering
Because we have such nice mics in here.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all did it. I broke character after the second sentence.
We kept going and going and going, man. Oh man. Okay.
I can't wait till the R&B duo launches. So this game, the Four Whys, some people call it the Five Whys. We're gonna play Four Whys. The Four Whys can help you get down to the nitty gritty of anything within 4 Whys or more. Every time you ask why, you're gonna get closer to the source material. Get closer to first principles of whatever it is that you're building. And I think if you're struggling or working on your video, you can ask yourself is 4 Whys to help draw out some really good conversation points or threads that you can talk from. So I will be asking why 4 times in a row to get some nitty-gritty of what Paul and Brooks are building. This is also something you can ask yourself too. All right. So the first question is, oh wait, who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Okay. Paul, can you share a little bit about what you're building?
Yes, I'm building Deedroot. It is a wonderful tool for property lawyers and closing agents to be able to find out who actually owns a property so they can legally sell it.
Paul, why did you start working on this problem?
2 years ago, I sat down with the closing agent who came to the innovation portal, and she explained a problem to me that would normally take her probably close to like half a day to multiple days, depending on how difficult or complex the history of a property is, to actually know who owns it legally. And after hearing that, 2 years later, AI got good enough for me to automatically like solve that problem within a couple seconds.
Paul, can I ask why it took the incumbents or the other competition half a day or longer to get to the property records?
Most of the time, what happens is that the property records are provided physically by the government legally. And the companies that work with the government to be able to digitize a lot of those documents did so about 20 to 30 years ago. And 20 to 30 years ago, the things that they did of being able to make it easy to search and find those documents was cutting edge. Now, 20 to 30 years in the future, it is the slowest possible way to search for any document anywhere. And so the incumbents haven't changed because they still make money from the luxurious, very long contracts that they got from the government to build that software.
And Paul, why is it faster using your tool?
Very simply, modern tools are better than old ones. If anybody here has ever used a web browser or website like search engine that is not Google, pre-Google being invented, like things are slower. And there's reasons why those things are slower, and they all have to do with just software being better, being able to make better tools, and 20 years on, there are better ways to be able to search documents. This is like a real fundamental reason why my thing is better. You also have the ability to use AI to do more complex things with these complex legal documents that allow you to be able to search them better, which is another like more cutting edge piece with AI that's only been around for like 2-3 years.
I like how you also slid in the other why. It's how your answer.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I think it's a really great way you can structure a powerful pitch, whether it be an elevator pitch or even a demo video, by asking why over and over again.
Yeah, pretty good.
Brooks, would you like to go?
Sure. I don't know I actually don't know what the 4 whys are. I'm excited. I'm excited to peel back this onion, man.
Peel back the onion.
Brooks is playing a different game.
I want to know what's in the middle, man. That blooming onion. All right. Let's go.
All right, Brooks, can you talk to me about something you're building or have built before?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what I have in this program, what I'm working on. So I'm building a short story. Had a coffee with my CFO buddy who consults for people to help them like raise funds and venture capital and stuff. I'm helping him, kind of like partnering with him, helping him build a tool to help people raise their Series A funding, but in an easier way that still gets his brain, but they don't have to pay him like the major consulting dollars that he normally charges.
Now, why is this something you would provide
to the end customer?
Yes.
Yeah. Because it's a busy business owner that's making, honestly, they're making money. Like they're probably well ahead, like most of us in their businesses. They don't have the time. They do have the time. They have the time to go and like hop in Claude or ChatGPT or whatever and say like, hey, I need to make a slide deck or something. I want to raise some BC money, but they don't have the real true knowledge and expertise. They need the brain of a CFO who has like 20 plus years of experience to like mix with that. So it's a time saver thing for them, and it helps shortcut them to what their end goal is, which is to raise money.
Now, why is that a huge problem for people who want to raise money and not having a CFO brain?
Ask me again. Why is it a huge problem for
regular folks that don't have a CFO brain?
Oh, I mean, it's just like anything else. It's like me talking about the transmission combobulator injectors in my car, or me talking about the anti-fibrillator heart valves in my. It's like there's jargon in every industry, and it's no different. It's no different in the venture capital fundraising world. They have their own language, and like the average person, me included, may not know exactly what I need in that slide deck to like the key things that will like get an investor to be like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. I'll lend you money.
And this is kind of I want to ask a what question instead of a why question. Actually,
we're getting in that onion, man. We're getting close.
We're getting in that onion.
We're getting there.
Now, why does it matter for having a CFO brain? Right? It sounds like we're saving time for an average person who wants to raise capital, has no idea what they're digging through. Mm-hmm. Why is that such important to have the type of expertise, like having direct access to that expertise?
It's kind of, I mean, I guess it's back to the same answer. I can try to fix my own car, or I can hire a mechanic who's hopefully going to do a better job than me, or I can, go ChatGPT or WebMD and fix myself, or I can like also get some additional expertise from another person. Like I still go to a doctor, so it's kind of the same thing. It's that layer of expertise. It's not just time. It's also the expertise.
I think like even with time, another thing that happens with time is like things like get worse, right? Because like if you and this is a problem that I'll have, if your tire is going flat
Mhm.
and you got to go put air into it all the time, and what would really be helpful is if a mechanic actually did something to fix the tire. You
Yeah.
could just keep going and putting that band-aid on there
Yeah.
and lose the tire
Yeah.
in a massive blowout and then have to get it towed, or you could just go to the mechanic and have him like fix the
Like
tire.
plug it, get a new tire or something.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's good analogy.
Looking at a startup, that might just be like whether like the startup continues to exist because we have enough money to do it, or
Mhm.
we run out of money and we have to quit the business.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
I think your example, Brooks, is really good because it sounds like we're getting right at the core of that onion. It sounds like there's no more layers we can pull from. Like that's the base of it there.
Yeah, if there's anything left, I don't know what it is, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's in the center. Help me find it. Y'all help me find it. Y'all help me find it.
Yeah, I don't think we can cut any further.
I'll say one thing that's been that was like a real eye opener for me. It may be interesting for other people. Like when you think about like raising money for a startup and stuff like that, you know, and it seems obvious, but like it did not occur to me early on learning about what VC is, about how VC venture capitalists like invest in startups and they make millions of dollars, is that venture capitalists are finance people.
Mhm.
They're just straight up finance people. Like they sit there and look at numbers of accounts
Mhm.
with money. And that's it. That's their main thing because they are finance people.
Yeah.
It didn't occur. I was like, oh yeah, we're all technical, right? Oh, we're all techie people. You know, we're doing the code and stuff, right? Like that's what we're talking about here, the startups and what. No. This is a finance person, and they talk about finance stuff. Yeah.
And then the really good ones are really good at investing in people as well,
Yeah.
right? Like so, it's like money plus people. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, totally.
I definitely say too, when my first talk to VCs, I thought I'd raise on the first conversation.
Mhm.
I didn't know it's as I've been told, is like a dating game. Like
Mhm.
the goal of a conversation is to get to the next conversation. And then to the next one. And further until you get a term sheet that you can sign. But
And it's
until then you're
it's less than it's less like a dating game and more like I don't know if y'all seen some of these reality TV shows like what's that one where Love is Blind? Like it's more like Love is Blind because like you don't know much about that person.
Mhm.
But if you take their $1 million, you're gonna be with that person for the next 10 years
Mhm.
minimum. Because you either gotta give them their money back or come back with $1 billion.
Wait, is that the deal?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the deal. Oh,
That's-
wow. That's the
That's-
game show.
No, that's not the game show. That's
Oh.
just VCs.
I'm sorry. I was like, what? That's the game show? You marry someone if you don't? Okay. my
Oh,
bad.
but inside the game show, you do marry the person.
Oh,
Like you,
okay.
you,
All right.
you don't see them, and then you sit down and have conversations with a wall in between you, and then you decide whether or not you want to get married to
Gotcha.
this person just from learning to love them without ever seeing them. Because
Gotcha,
Love is
gotcha.
Blind. That's the name of the show. Love
Got
is
it.
Blind.
Got it.
pretty good analogy.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you, Paul. Thank you, Brooks.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
All right. And again, I recommend playing the 4 Whys game on your own. If there's as you're still having trouble, like if you're writing a script for your video or coming up with ideas what to talk about, ask yourself 4 Whys to help get to the root of what you're building and what you're creating. Or even take a step a notch and ask 5 Whys. All right, so for your tasks for this final week, for week 8, please record your demo day video. If you've already done your bad video, you have a leg up because now you can re-record and you kind of have a highlight of things to fix. If you also like our feedback, you can feel free to talk with us, DM us. We're happy to schedule time on our calendars for you. And for uploading your video, you can either A, upload your video to Google Drive. Please make sure that the link is readable by anybody that views your content. Or B, you can share this as an unlisted video on YouTube. If you want to make it a public video on YouTube, feel free. You can also take that action as well. But in order for us to see it and for it to make it playable, please take one of these 2 actions. And next, you want to share this link inside the week 8 form. 2, we encourage you to share your demo day video on socials. Talk to the world and share what you've been up to for the past 8 weeks. This video is kind of like an all-encompassing thing that talks about the 8 weeks, the many hours you've poured into your project, into our program. Please share this with the world. Next, RSVP for the watch party. The watch party link is inside of our Luma calendar link. So inside of Luma, if you already subscribed, that will be there for you. If you have subscribed, go ahead and click that QR code on. That'll be dropped on the screen. It's live now. You can go ahead and subscribe to the watch party. That'll be on Tuesday, July the 14th at 6 p.m. CST. So if you'd like to see your video on that live stream, go ahead and submit your video before Sunday. You can send the watch party link to your friends, to your family, anybody that's been asking about your progress, to your cousins. Go ahead and share that with them. That link will be public. YouTube live premiere link will air at exactly 6 p.m. CST. All right, so we're going to transition on to the Hangout session. So we won't have a lab session for today, but we'll have an open-ended Hangout session. So if there's questions you want to ask, if you want to talk to us, feel free to hop on. Again, here are the tasks. And the next session is optional. We're going to break for 5 minutes, and then we'll be back on stream. So if you'd like to talk to us, feel free to come on and hang out. And thank you for sticking with us for the past 8 weeks. We're very proud of the progress we made, and we're very excited to see your demo day videos. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Hangout session. If you'd like to join us inside of the conversation, I believe there's a way to join. Yes, scan the QR code above for the week 8 submission link. And yeah, Paula Brooks, how do they join inside of the chat again?
Just let me know. I will add people. Let me know you want to get in. You may get an invite.
Oh, you have to like send it to him?
I have to send it to him. Yes.
I gotcha.
Hop in with us. Be a part of the stream. Come in and
Otherwise, we'll just start whispering.
Yeah, we'll just hang out, man.
Turn it to an ASMR experience.
This is week 8. Emmanuel, how do you feel, man, getting to this point in the Indie Builder Challenge?
I don't think it's hit me yet. I think I'm gonna face post builder depression after next week after the call, and then we're gonna be excited again once I join you all in Mobile for the celebration event.
Yeah, man, I see that as an opportunity for builders to like hang out with each other. One, us, get to meet in real life, get to see you again, hang out, Emmanuel, which would be fun. Dog, what up?
What's good?
Post face reveal in person.
Hello. How are y'all? Can you hear me?
Hey, man.
Hello.
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I am making it. We are here.
We are here.
We're here.
We are here. Yeah. Heck yeah.
I'm not a streamer, so I'm trying to get my angles right.
You're all good. The only streamer here is Emmanuel. Just to let you know.
Yeah, we're just wannabes over here in this room. I know, we're just borrowing this room, man.
Right in the room, like
I feel y'all look really legit, I'll say.
Oh, nice.
It's the room. It's the room.
Yeah.
It's the room.
We just steal this room once a week. Yeah, exactly.
But I don't know. It's weird being up here. I'm like, wow, this is the first time. I don't know if anyone else can hear me. Everybody out there.
Everybody can hear you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Cool. I didn't really have anything else to talk about, but I mean, it's kind of a lie. But I'm just, I'm here.
Let's talk about it all, man.
I mean, my God, it's what is there not to talk about at this point? Still, job market sucks, but building is cool, I guess. It's very uncomfortable. But I mean, I feel like this is something that I probably should have done a long time ago. And I just didn't want to like put in the effort because I'm like, one, it's kind of like, what if it flops? And then it's like, oh, it's all on me if it flops. And that sucks. But, trying to figure out what does not flopping look like. and not focus on the idea of flopping.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say judging yourself prematurely tends to like kill the momentum early on. And for someone that I used to mentor, that was like one of I gave her 2 rules. Was one is like you're not allowed to judge the work until after it's done, and then 2, for judging yourself, like you've really got to have grace too, because like I've read your work. You're a really good writer,
Oh,
and yeah, it's my first time hearing your voice. But from your personality over like the chats and the past live streams, like I can feel the same energy inside of your voice when you write. So I'd say like yeah, I don't think anybody's really as bad as they think they are. So for judging yourself, I think it's really good to have a level of grace.
I feel that. I always seem to have very high standards of myself in terms of like, if I'm gonna do it, like it's gotta hit on the first one. I know that's like completely impossible, but I don't know. I just feel compelled to, like, I really love Beyonce, if you haven't noticed. But and so with that kind of mindset, I'm like, I have to create something and I have to make sure that it's solid every single time. And that leads me to spend like hours kind of dissecting every single little thing. And I also do a thing where I'm like, I've never met a challenge that like I've like never done before. So like I'm going to learn it. I'm going to like figure it out. I'm going to do it again. Like I've been messing around like After Effects and Photoshop and everything else. So it's like it's been very strange, but I think it's kind of like working out in terms of like flexing your muscle, and you never really worked out before. So now you're trying to get strong, but I do feel myself kind of evolving into something else. Again, don't want to be a content creator, but hello.
Yeah. Here's something I'm thinking, Doc. Welcome in, David. Here's something I'm thinking. So one thing to a point that you said earlier, and just the general idea of like perfectionism and whatnot. One of the things, core value at the Innovation Portal in general, is progress over perfection. One thing I think about that makes it difficult, because when you're trying to get into like taking in some of these core values, it's really, really key to change your mindset, right? But changing mindset is not an easy thing. It is possible, but it requires you to do some weird and funky things that are generally uncomfortable. And in other cases, they can be very fun, but they're still strange, right? And so like you think of something like brainstorming. The whole idea of brainstorming is to get your mind in a different situation, and you are fundamentally changing your mindset. You're changing how you're thinking about things. When it comes to thinking about like perfectionism, one way of how I try to like break the mold inside of how I'm thinking and get out of that idea of perfectionism is to think about things in terms of like always in perpetual progress. Like there's always some next thing that you cannot get to until you do the thing that you're doing now. And so like when I think about something like that, I generally go to like in a classroom setting, right? If you're inside of school, you're having to take tests and fill out assignments and do homework. So maybe you don't feel ready for the quiz that's coming up this week, but at the end of the day, you're going to do it. And it's not going to end. It's not going to be the end of the world. There's another quiz that's going to come the next week. And so like, even if it's not the best, that doesn't mean that the grade in the class that you get isn't going to be an A+, right? Like you can still get an A+ and then like have a crappy homework assignment or a crappy test or a crappy like quiz. What matters is that you did the rest of the assignments and you kept going. You kept coming to class, and like focusing on just doing progress is something that is like so critical inside of being successful in a lot of ways, because trying to make something perfect ends up setting you back further than if you just did something and then let the world do the judging for you. It also takes something off your plate, because like if you can get somebody else to judge something for you, then all of a sudden you had to do one thing instead of two things.
I feel that, and I appreciate that. I'm definitely in my era of trying to embrace the mess, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody else.
Hello.
David. I'm up here feeling like I'm a host of the show.
Ashley, did you had a question in there? I don't know if David, you had something.
Yes, I did have a question. Yeah, I was just kind of curious what investors typically look for, like kind of what level they expect your business to be at and how established they
Yeah,
expect it to be at before they start showing interest.
got you. Okay, so I'm about to break down the whole idea of investing and how people give you money. Okay, so a key thing to think about when it comes to a business and getting an investor, the first and foremost, investors are financial people. Okay, they are finance people. You talk about like you're looking for a guy in finance. This is the guy in finance. Okay,
Mm,
this is a financial person. They are trying to make money using finance, the math of finance, and all these different pieces. When you're thinking about an investor, this is the realm that you should be thinking about. This is a financial transaction, and you're trying to figure out a way to finance something. Now, in a business, the goal inside of businesses per the IRS and what they are taxing you for is to make money. And so if you are trying to make money in a business, and now mind you, not all businesses are trying to make money. Some businesses are nonprofits and the IRS classifies them as such and they do not tax them, right? And so like if you are trying to be a business that makes money, then the goal to make money is what the investor is coming to looking at whatever transaction you're trying to do with them in the lens of, right? And so different investors try to make money in different ways. And so if you're coming to an investor and let's say your business is selling hamburgers, right? If you're a hamburgers salesperson and you sell hamburgers, you may do it in a truck, you may do it inside of a building, you may just do it from your house in Alabama, which is legal. You could just be selling hamburgers and an investor may come to you and say like, okay, I'm very interested inside of expanding and making more money with you in your hamburger business. And then like the next question is, how are you going to make money if I give you more money, right? And so different type of investors answer that question differently. When one investor comes to the hamburger maker and says like, I want to invest money in you, and the thing that they like to invest in is things like real estate and like things that take a long time to make a lot of money, they generally come and invest inside of the hamburger salesman that looks a lot like a McDonald's, right? And they say like, I'm going to give you this chunk of money and I want you to give me back that same chunk of money plus some extra money over time forever by buying new property and doing the exact same thing that you're doing at your house. And then I'm going to give you more money. You're going to do it again in another location. And I'm going to give you more money. You can do it again in another location. Now, that is one type of investor, generally a very conservative investor who is able to look at it and be like, hey, I know exactly how much you're going to give me back. That investor may even look like a bank, where a bank is just giving a loan to somebody with the expectation that they're going to give the money back over time, right? And franchisors and folks that go and like buy a new McDonald's generally look like that type of investor. That's one type. Now, the other type of investor who looks at the hamburger salesman and says like, you know what? I'm a venture capitalist, right? I'm not a bank, but I'm a venture capitalist. I'm a different type of finance person. And I'm interested inside of seeing you make burgers for everyone. And what the investor that looks like a venture capitalist would say, the way that you're going to make more money is that we're going to make a brand that everybody in the world is going to want to buy this hamburger. But we're not going to be buying a whole bunch of property because that is expensive and I don't want to spend money on that. What I want to spend money on is the machine that makes hamburgers. And we're only going to need like 2 or 3 of them, but they'll make 1 million hamburgers every second. And then we'll go sell those hamburgers inside of Walmarts and inside of all types of places. And we're going to make a whole bunch of money selling this brand of hamburgers. You may see something like this if you go to Walmart and you see brands like Beyond Meat, where they're making like hamburgers, yes, and you can buy that hamburger and go cook it yourself. It's not meat, but it's something they can scale up and it tastes like meat, right? And so like if you're a hamburger salesman and you go to the VC and you take their money, the expectation is not that we're going to go make like little bits of money over time and they'll keep giving you little bits of money to be able to buy some land and then build a new restaurant. What they're expecting is that I'm going to give you $1 million and in 5 to 10 years you're going to come back with $1 billion because it's inside of every Walmart in the world, right? And that's the expectation. And if you don't meet their expectations, regardless of if you're talking to the person trying to franchise the McDonald's or the person trying to make the new Beyond Meat, they're not going to give you like money for like not actually doing the thing that they expect, which is make more money, right? If you fail at making more money, you're not going to walk away with any money. because the whole reason why they're decided to come and work with you is because they expect you to make more money. And if you don't make more money, then you're not going to get any money out the transaction. Now, there are some people.
Oh, take a break. Take a break.
Okay.
Pause.
All right.
Pause.
Well, I'm gonna give a pause.
Yeah,
Let's do a
I'm
little
making them pause
break.
there. Ashley, what are your thoughts on everything he said?
Yeah, for venture capitalists,
yeah.
it makes me think of like the investors in Shark Tank.
Yes.
I don't know if like that's the same type of investor, but it sounds like it's more product based with like different licensing deals and stuff. Am I
I'll say-
right, or am I incorrect on that?
You're halfway right, and it really depends, right? Because like inside of Shark Tank, they're a little bit different. Some investments that they do look like venture capital. Some investments that they do look a lot more like a look more like the kind of franchisor, like very conservative investor, like kind of model. It really depends on what the product is, because like a product like the Scrub Daddy, I don't know if you've seen that like pitch with the Scrub Daddy guy where he goes on Shark Tank, right?
Yeah.
That's definitely more on the VC side, because like there's a clear path to billions of dollars and they're trying to get on that path. If you look at something that looks more like maybe farm equipment or something inside of like generally, and this is just a kind of rule of thumb when you think about VCs, they're not going to get into anything that can't make $1 billion. Like that's the minimum requirement. They have to be able to walk away with $1 billion from the deal. And so like anything that's inside of a smaller scale, like there's not that many people who would actually benefit from that business, then more than likely is going to look like something a little bit different. And the Shark Tank people generally entertain and do some of those deals, but they look different. They have different expectations. Like when you take money from a VC, like it's $1 billion or bust. Like you're going to walk away with absolutely nothing if you don't become like one of the richest companies in the world. And it is just that simple, and it's meant to be that way. And that is why they'd be willing to give $1 million to somebody off of a conversation. Right. And so like when you're thinking about like raising money and whatnot, it's really important to understand like, what do you want inside of 5 to 10 years with this business? Do you want to have something that is just giving you money over time? Do you want to have $1 billion business and be willing to risk it all for it? Are you willing? Are you interested in just like making some money and just having a business that has some money because like you want to be able to live and not have to work like inside of a 9-to-5 job?
All right, I'm gonna pause him again. I feel this is my perception of everything. I feel, Ashley, I'm not sure how you feel, but I feel like Paul's conversation is very like, it's like way ahead of anything I'm even interested in, or like anything where I am. And I don't know about the people, like everyone building here, or whatever. I'm gonna give you just a slightly different perspective, because I'm gonna read something off of literally MBI.VC's website. Like they were like, our approach. We invest in people first and businesses second. Ideas matter, but the people behind them matter more. The best founders refuse to quit. All right, we look for businesses that have proven something in the real world, even if it's just early customers or modest revenue. The proof of life shows real validation in a founder who's pushing through obstacles. We're not passive capital. We look for opportunities where our operating experience can meaningfully accelerate your trajectory, blah, 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 blah. So that's like their approach. So I think the question in this lender's scenario, I guess the question is like, what does modest revenue look like for them? I don't know what that is, but they probably want to see that you have some sort of like traction or track record. I'm gonna ask them that tomorrow, Ashley. Like I'll ask Morgan that tomorrow and find out more information. Paul mentioned a bank as well, which technically is like an investment partner. And so like, what are they looking for? Well, they'll tell you.
Yeah,
they'll be like, hey,
very clear.
Give me all your, if you're pitching off a concept, they'll be like, well, cool. What does your financial situation look like? Right? They're gonna want to know all your financial documents and stuff. One other little group I would think about is that whole like angel friends and families round, which is really where a lot of people raise money at first. And while those people want to make money, they're not necessarily like all number finance people. They may just be like, dude, I have money and I believe in you, and this seems like a cool idea, and I want to put some money into your business. So I bet Paul was like more on the venture capital, like billion or bust, and I just wanted to back it up over here. We just do a ton of stuff just kind of out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is any of this helpful at all to what you were asking?
Yeah, it's helpful. Like I hear both sides, the long-term vision, which is super important to me as well, like thinking 10 steps ahead, but also, just being aware of what I should be pursuing just in the short term. So yeah, I'll definitely be on that call because I would be super
Cool.
curious to hear more about like what proof of concept looks like. And yeah, just kind of at a basic level. So
So
Very cool.
you tell us, like, what are you interested in getting out of the thing that you're making? Like, are you looking for $1 billion business? And I say this because like as many like founders, like entrepreneurs that'll come in here and they'll go down this VC track and they don't recognize like, oh my gosh, these people are finance people and they want me to make $1 million. And I was just interested in making this really cool thing because I like to engineer it. And people get like really discouraged from going down that path because like they had a baby and they really wanted to have that baby do this, and all of a sudden it's all about finance now. And like, what happened to the baby? Like what's going on?
Yeah,
yeah.
there's some truth there.
Yeah. No, that's good. I know like definitely long term. I can see Talkly being compared to some of the other competitive brands like Preply or Duolingo. It's just like such a different like way and different model of teaching English, and I think like it can totally scale using this model. So you can have like several hundred students in the classroom at once, and they would all get like a really good experience and get live interaction, practice with other students. And so it's so much more affordable than anything else that's out there. So, and yeah, since I've been teaching ESL for the last year and a half, I think I have a pretty good grasp about just kind of what people are looking for. And so, yeah, I could see it becoming big, but it's going to take a lot of work.
Well, like, what do you want? What do you want out of the business? Like, not what the business is going to do, what Amazing Heights is going to reach, but what is your desire from this business? Like, do you see yourself doing this for the rest of your life? Do you see yourself walking away from this at some point and then having some money in your pocket, like Brooks did with one of his businesses? Like, what do you want from this?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I think that it would be really hard to grow it and then let it go. But that could be really smart if there were other opportunities in the future. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know I really want to see a lot of growth at this point, but in terms of like just turning around and selling it or something, I don't know. But that's actually a big part of why I don't want it to stay on school, and I want Talkly to have its own branding and its own identity and stuff. So
yeah.
And just a point, I don't know that answer. That's a really good question, and I feel like I ask myself that about a lot of the things I'm working on. I don't always, very rarely do I know the answer for sure, like what I want. I just always want to make sure I'm having fun, I'm enjoying myself. I'm like, I don't know, man. We only get one life, so like one of my like variables are very strange, like, is this fun to me? Which probably is not a question that a lot of people ask themselves. I don't know. That's actually one of my like.
That's the answer though. Like that is an answer to that question, because like it can be very not fun inside of VC math saying, oh my gosh, I need to 10x this by the next 12 months. And then in 12 months, they're going to ask you to 10x it again and then again. Because it's a different lifestyle. It's a different way of working. And then like literally any other financing option looks like a different lifestyle.
Yeah. Look, I'll just say this I mean, I'll say this right now. I from everything I've heard, all the examples of VC money I've seen, I personally have zero interest to like raise any venture capital money at this point. Maybe, in 5 years, maybe I got some crazy, maybe I have a Talkly idea and I'm like, man, I want to expand it and compete with the big dogs. But currently I don't have. David, say if you want to say what's up. Sorry, we're all hogging the conversation. I don't know if you can hear us.
You are.
I think you're muted, David.
No, he's not muted.
Oh, he's not muted.
It's on his side though. Some audio's not connected.
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, look at your. Yeah, because we can't hear you right now.
Yeah, you're not muted, but the audio's not connected somehow. Maybe you got the wrong mic on or something like that.
Yeah,
or your mic's not on.
Might be a different mic. Ashley, congrats on the prize. Make sure you shoot me a DM in school.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good job. I was really behind in assignments. So
It's been
yeah,
awesome.
thank you for bearing
Seeing all
with
this
me.
stuff. Yeah, you're very motivating. You've been yeah, you're pushing us. It's good. It's awesome.
I'm very interested, Ashley, for you to think about, like, think very hard about whether or not you want to go down the VC track or not. There's nothing wrong with not doing VC because you just want to make a lot of money. Like, it's something that people don't realize, but like you could just not do the VC and bootstrap, be like a Brooks and just make money, and you did the business. That's it.
Yeah.
You did a business and you've made money, and now you don't have to do job, right?
I'm interested for the call tomorrow with Morgan. So Morgan's he's a guy I knew from Mobile before he moved to Florida. He's like investing now. So he's sold a company and now he's like investing in other companies. He's a super cool guy. So I was telling Paul before this call, I was like, he's the kind of guy that if I did want to like raise funds for a business or something, I feel like I potentially would do it with someone like him, like someone that like I vibe with and I like, and I didn't think they were only in it for return, but they also wanted to, work alongside like a business. I don't know. I'm interested to see like what his perspective is and in like what they're looking for and how they invest and stuff. Yeah.
It's always great to sit down and talk to a VC and be able to ask just questions about the process because they know the best.
Yeah.
They are finance people. They do this stuff every day.
Yeah. Exactly.
Can you talk a little bit about like just the benefits or like the disadvantages and advantages of working alongside a venture capitalist versus working on a business on your own?
Yeah. So one big advantage with like taking VC money is that you are now on rails, and at the very minimum, you have somebody behind you who is like poking you with a fork, saying you need to go build this business right now. Go, and they'll make sure that you have everything you need to do like work as much as you need to be able to hit the targets that they set financially for you. If you miss those targets, and this is only on the downside, like if you miss the targets, then you lose the business because at the end of the day, you're gonna have to get them their money back. Right. And so if they go and invest $1 million and you give them 10% of the company, when the company isn't worth $1 million anymore, like the whole thing is being taken from you at that point. Right. Because guess what? You got to give back $1 million, and maybe like they'll just decide to take the equity and then sell the company for themselves. Right. And so this is one thing like when you have to think about this stuff, it's like, well, you didn't walk into that transaction with $1 million and now you have $1 million and they say that they're going to take that 10%. But at the end of the day, like you got to give them back their money. And unless you're trying to like give them everything that you own, the company's the thing they're going to take. Right. And so like this is like a really clear like other side. Oftentimes what you'll see is that people will like get into like what they call acquisitions or different types of acquisitions. And generally, like for example, there are several folks who sit inside of jobs that look like head of X or like the senior executive of Y at many companies. And if you look at their LinkedIn, you'll see that they were the founder of some company beforehand. But what happened is that they maybe went and raised some VC money. They like weren't able to hit like 100,000 people inside of 1 year, and then 1 million people inside of 2 years, and then 10 million people inside of 3 years. And maybe they got close, but they didn't hit those numbers, and so the VC sold the business. And they ended up like not making a whole bunch of money from doing all this work for the past 5 years. And because the VC sold the business, and because they were so successful inside of almost getting to that VC level of success, they end up getting like a top tier job at Google, Facebook, Amazon, and whatnot, because they trust this previous founder to be able to help them scale like at least something at their like $1 trillion business, because they know that you're able to scale something at the million and tens of thousands scale. And so like there's a lot of trust that comes from that, and those people get very high paying jobs because like people recognize like you have good experience because you almost did it, right? And so like that's another advantage inside of going down that path. But it's very important that you walk into that with your eyes open, because like people who don't, and they sit there and they're like, oh my gosh, I raised like $10 million and then I'm walking away with nothing in my pocket. And nothing may be like $10,000 or nothing may be like $100,000, but like that's not the millions and billions of dollars that they thought they were going to walk away from it with, right? But it becomes a lot easier to be able to get into a job that pays you $500,000 a year or $700,000 a year, because like people trust that you can go and build something amazing. So that is like pros and cons on VC. Outside of VC, what you have is the situation where like you have to like actually like struggle really hard to be able to make the thing happen, because like most businesses aren't going to make money in their first year. And so you have to bankroll that yourself. And there may be money coming from the paycheck that you normally have. And you like doing proper accounting to say like, hey, I spent $1,000 a month on this business and I still haven't made $1 from it. Right. But the fact that like you're sitting there and you're working on it and you're like doing these things right, getting good mentorship, getting good guidance from people around you who maybe have done this type of business before, you could get out of that situation and into a reasonable business that like is something that you can really work on. A lot of times what ends up happening is that folks that go down that bootstrap path and they actually find success, like then they have a way that is just paying them month over month. And they're able to use that money and pay themselves as an employee of that business. Sometimes you have these situations. If you look at the story of like Alexander Hormozi, where like he's done many types of businesses, but the very first ones that he did were like boring businesses, and those boring businesses did great for him to make him a very wealthy person. But like that was his goal. His goal wasn't to just go raise VC money and get a really cushy job inside of New York or Boston or Silicon Valley. He was looking to just make money and be rich. and so he made businesses where he bootstrapped it, and he was sitting there scrubbing the floors of his gym trying to like save $1 on a janitor, right? But that's what he did. He did it for many years, and then he made a lot of money being able to run gyms and didn't teach people how to run gyms. And so like this is why I come back to that question. It's like, what do you want? How do you want to live your life? Brooks points out he wants to have a good time. And so when he runs his businesses, he's looking to have a good time while he does it. And so
I do want to make money, but it's on my list. Like
right.
It's very high up on my list, is having fun. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And so that's where that lifestyle question really comes in. And folks who go down the VC path, generally they want to, like, a big part of it is wanting to have respect from others that are their peers, that they went and did it. And like, they don't really care about being rich inside of a job versus being rich independently from a job, right? They care that their friends and family, because like their friends and family respect tech people, or their friends and family respect folks who raise lots of money from VCs, that they get respect from those people. And like the folks who go into it eyes open and want to do that, that's the reason why they're doing it. It's not because they want to go make a whole bunch of money. It's because they want to get the respect and like notoriety of being a person who did that, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it sounds like once you've worked out some opportunities to prove yourself and network, that makes a lot of sense. I think that answers my question. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was actually, if I could ask one other question, I was just wondering, like, in terms of maybe a different route, like looking for a co-founder, could you talk about that, and like if that's ever a good idea or just like a horrible idea because they'll own such a big percentage of your company, or if like if either of you have any experience co-founding a company?
I'll give this one stab. As someone who's co-founded a company before, it's very important to be honest about what you both bring to the table. I think looking for someone who can complement your skill set, for someone that doesn't have the same skills as you, is really good to have. For example, I think the common example for startups is somebody who can build the product and somebody who can sell very well. And I think if you're someone who already has founder market fit, you work with ESL students for the past year and a half, you've got a community created. There's a pie, right? But there's some part of the pie where it's like, okay, I really don't have the skill set. I think having a co-founder will be valuable. I think one thing I've seen too is having a co-founder trial. So saying like, hey, let's we'll work together for X number of days on a project of some sort, and see how that works out before fully committing to bringing them on board as a co-founder. Another thing you can do, and I think it's good too, because it's like, okay, if it doesn't work out, like no hard feelings either way. It's just a trial. Because I think that's a very, very important to have, because you'd hate to lose a friend over, like co-founder issues. Again, another important thing is that you can have a vesting schedule. So the famous way for most artists is to have like a 1-year cliff, with that cliff being that you both have to be in the game in your business. It has skin in the game for at least a year before either you ever receives a drop of equity. And that equity is locked up and was called usually a vesting schedule. The most common one's like 4 years. So let's say you and your co-founder both do a 50-50 split in equity. 50% or whatever, it'll be like 12.5% of equity would unlock every year for you until all 50% of your vested equity is now yours, since you've stuck in your business for 4 years.
I wanna pause you right here, Emmanuel, because you're going into some equity math. First, equity. Ashley, is this a familiar concept? Is it making sense what we're talking about here?
Kind of. Some of this I'm like not super familiar with, but it sounds like so you're saying like if I owned 50% of the business, like there would be an agreement with myself and the co-founder in the beginning where each of us own like a smaller percentage, and then it builds over time.
That's correct. Yeah, it would unlock after time. Usually that 1 year cliff is like the test to see like, okay, am I really about this? If not, then I get no equity unless I pass that first year of being in the business.
Okay. So you're kind of giving up some of your rights in the beginning, it sounds like. Okay.
And that's you can set that, depending on your co-founder, and you can set your terms however you want. Yeah, I'll let Paul take it from here.
Like to give you examples. I worked at a startup, right? And that startup was named Flexport. So wonderful large startup that like I joined probably like person number 4,000 or something like that. It was a massive company by the time I got there, right? Inside of most startups, because they are not like super big companies that are publicly traded and sold on the stock market where you can buy and sell their stock, the way that they handle like trying to give some part of the company to early people who work there is through this like vesting schedule, right? They call it a vesting schedule because they're finance people and they got fancy jargon words. Now, the way that Flexport like did it for all the employees, everybody has the opportunity to get a piece of the business, right? To actually own a part of the business before it gets to this point where stocks are bought and sold. And so what I get is that because I worked at Flexport for at least 1 year, I get 25%, 1/4 of what they promised me of equity in the company, right? And so when you're very early on, like inside of like establishing a new business and whatnot, you can do these fancy things. Like you can have an agreement that protects you and makes you feel comfortable being able to share a part of the business with somebody else. And the reason why the venture capitalists go about doing these complex vesting schedules and things like that with employees, because they know that early on, it's really hard to tell if a person is who you think they are and to trust them to be able to do this thing, right? And so like when a VC gives you $1 million and you're about to go hire a bunch of people, and like those people expect to be able to get a piece of the business too, like the VC makes sure that anybody you're going to give this money to that I just gave you, they need to be on a vesting schedule. They need to meet these requirements. They're not going to own a piece of this company unless they worked here for a year. And like these are rules that the VC is establishing and putting in front of you when you take their money, right? And like every startup is going to be exactly like that. When you work at a company that is actually IPO, that is sold and bought in the stock market, it's a similar situation. Like you go work at a Google, Facebook, or Amazon, it's a 1 year cliff before they give you any equity. And the equity inside of those cases look like stock, right? And so like when you see people working at these large companies, and I pointed out like one of the reasons why somebody might start a startup is because they want to go work at one of these large companies in a very high a role that gives them a whole bunch of money, is because when they go start working in that role, they're going to get a piece of Google, a piece of Facebook as ownership, and that's going to be stocks that they get, right? That'll be inside of their portfolio when they go and invest and whatnot. And they get that as a part of their compensation. And so, like, when you go look at how much money these people make, when they say like, "Oh, I make $50,000 or $500,000, I make $900,000," like, really, they're getting a paycheck for $100K or $200K, and then like the rest of the money is equity and stock that they can buy and sell in the stock market for that company, right? But this happens inside of startups. It happens inside of other places. When you're thinking about going for a co-founder, like how you give them equity is very important, because like it's an agreement between two people. And if you plan to work with them, it's very similar to you getting into a serious relationship with this person, because it's not only the fact that you're giving them money, but you're also giving them like part ownership and some rights inside of the baby that you're making. And we need to figure out how we're gonna handle ownership of this baby. And like, it's a serious topic. It's a very serious topic. And you want to make sure that you trust this person. And like, trust can come in a lot of different ways, and it can come with stipulations. And it's up to you on how you want to set up those things for yourself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That definitely gives me a lot to think about, because it sounds like, it's something to take really seriously. So yeah, thank you so much for answering that so thoroughly. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. David, are you able to get in here? Well, I see you there. I see you talking, but I don't know if your mic's is connecting up. But I'm interested inside of what Doc's got going on. I see him yapping in the chat.
With David, is it a mic setting, you think? Like in his
It's totally some mic setting, because like I can't unmute him because he's already unmuted.
He's already unmuted. Like on our end, he's unmuted. Got it. Yeah, we just can't hear you. Yeah, it's weird.
Well, yeah, Doc, I see you talking in the chat. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the things that I've been thinking about in terms of trying to build something, I'm working for myself sounds great, and owning a business sounds great. I think that I'm a pretty good designer. I think I have a really good eye, and I think that I could do that. And I think that ultimately I'd be able to build out this system and build out a team and et cetera, et cetera. And it's not that I am not in pursuit of money, because I like money. I like nice things. I like to buy clothes. But I think that one thing, I don't believe that I should have to like either have my sort of like morals or standards or whatever, and also be broke. I think there's like a place that we can meet in the middle. Like, I'm not trying to be a billionaire. I don't really even necessarily care about making hundreds of millions of dollars or whatever. I think as long as my needs are taken care of, and I can also take care of the community's needs. I think that's one thing that I'm not willing to compromise on, is ensuring that when this thing actually, I get the building and we start building things out and we start designing stuff, it's not going to be something that's closed off to me. It's going to be something that I want people to come into and have sort of like a, there's the whole concept of third spaces and et cetera, et cetera. And I want to create something like that that's actually real, that's not like a run club or like a, I don't know, you have to pay like a member's fee to get in here or whatever. But that's when, and that's why I was like, I'm probably won't even worry about doing anything like investor-like or VC-like. I feel like the funding is going to have to come through mainly, I'm thinking like 5-10 years ahead of me creating this design agency, building that up, and then also creating this sort of like philanthropic sort of idea. And secretly, I would like to live in this building too, but that's a different conversation. I have this whole like idea in my head of like, and there's buildings in Birmingham, like actually some of the buildings that were right across the street from the Innovate Birmingham or Innovate Depot, like those like really rundown, abandoned, like tall warehouses or whatever. that's what I want to get one of those, and I want to like go in and start knocking walls down and start building stuff out. And
Doc, let me tell you something. Okay. So Todd Greer, he's the executive director of the Innovation Portal, right? He wasn't the person who started the Innovation Portal. Like some of our like older board members started the Innovation Portal, but he has a vision that where he wants to take a building that's like quite literally two, three doors down, like literally two, three streets like away from us, between here and Bishop State, which is HBCU down here in Mobile. Like there's a building right there in between there that used to be like the Black Theater of like a theater during the same time period as like some of the heyday of like Atlanta, when you think about like Black Wall Street and stuff like that. Like during that time period, there was something happening here in Mobile also, and there was like a theater right there. It was a Black theater, and he wants to take that Black theater, knock the walls down, put it all back together, and make it this like half apartment complex, half like space for Black people to be able, like really HBCU students to be able to make businesses similar to something that used to exist called Venture for America, right? Okay. And he wants to make that space there, right? He has that dream and that knowledge, and I highly recommend you sit down and talk to him about what you're interested in doing, because what I'll say is that Todd's gonna go make this thing. Okay, there's no doubt in my mind that Todd's not gonna go build out what he's looking to do. He's done it before. He's done similar things like this before, and he knows what it takes to be able to make something like that. He knows the structures and how it fits together. And like furthermore, it's something that I always point out to other folks like at the Innovation Portal and beyond, is like he knows like the inside baseball of how to do these types of things in Alabama, right? Which is different than doing it in South Alabama. He knows how to do it in Alabama, right? And so like when you point out about making a space and things like that, like he did that. He knows how to do that. He's done it multiple times inside of Alabama, and he knows what it takes to get to those places. I highly recommend you sit down and spend some time with him, explaining what you want to do and what it looks like, because more than likely he already knows the pathways that you need to take and what the structure looks like and how you make money. Just be.
No, thank you for the connection, actually, because I mean, I feel like the tools are so there, but I don't know what's missing, what connection I'm making, or is the connection that I'm missing just action? And but it's like, also, what does action look like in a situation like this, when I'm like, this is like it's kind of strange. Like it's a thing that is not necessarily like the run-of-the-mill kind of project that you would build. And usually if someone was building it, they usually have like a lot of money and they can like invest into it, or they know people with a lot of money. Yeah. I'm just a guy in Birmingham who worked in tech for a couple of years, and now I hate tech, and now I want to do something else. And you know, and I don't know. I mean, I think that I'm, again, like I said, I'm gorgeous, but I don't know if I'm too marketable. So like
I'm letting you know, like being able to do the thing can happen very fast. Okay. It really, again, depends on how you want to live your life. Okay. Because like you can go straight there and make the building and have probably a nonprofit that is like a mix of private and public funding that allows you to do the activity that you're looking to do inside of that space. Right. Like there's a straight shot there, and like it's a 5 to 10 year type of journey. Right. And you can get there. I promise you can get there. But like the question is like, is that what you want, or do you want to be running like a business that's separate, that's different, and then doing something like this on the side? Is it a side thing? Is it the main thing? Because like I can tell you right now, Tiger is very comfortable with his wife and kids, and he runs a nonprofit. Okay, I promise you, he's having a good time, right? And it's very possible for you to do the same thing, but like it's about what you want. Like, what do you really want?
I mean, for me, I of course want. Of course, it's always going to be me first when it comes to like, I need to make sure that I'm like straight. I'm okay. I'm enjoying life. I don't like suffering again, like me being unemployed right now. Terrible. It's awful. And I know what I would like my life to look like, but I also believe that like these two things, I don't think I ever really want to like move out of Birmingham. Like I'm cool with moving or like going places for like a short time, but like this is my home, and I think that I belong here. Like I don't know, this is, and I don't think that is a thing that is I feel like people take that in like a really weird way. Like every time I say that, people always be like, "No, you should be in like New York. You should be in LA." I'm like, I hate LA. I'm not moving to New York. I'm not doing that.
Right space. It's the don't go to Alabama space right here.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to. I think that I can have sort of that same sort of caliber of lifestyle in here without paying millions of dollars to live, and
For sure.
also I can have the money to just, if I want to go to New York, I'll just go to New York. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like it's no big deal.
For sure.
But yeah, like this is, I know that's what I want. Like I'm kind of approaching 30 now, so it's kind of like you do need to be figuring some stuff out. But yeah, I think that I'm more than happy to stay here and kind of create those things in the city that I always wish existed. Like I love the restaurants, I love the coffee shops, I love the bars, whatever. But like I don't think that there's anything that feels like it is like connected to the people that are here. It doesn't feel like it feels like an aesthetic. It feels like something that, yeah, you can go find this in Atlanta or you can go find this in New York or whatever, but it doesn't feel like it's something that exists here. And I don't know, that's very lofty and airy, but
it's clear. It's clear.
Well,
I'll say Birmingham's a great place simply because like these types of activities happen more often. There's a lot more funding for these types of things. Now I put in the link to Todd's to Todd's calendar. I want you to click on that link and schedule your time with him now.
Yes.
While I sit here and schedule the time with him sometime in the next week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, however long. His schedule is always open. The city of Mobile pays for it. This is a free service that is open to you. Okay. Now the way that I see something like this happening, a lot of it's going to happen give you, for example, the Innovation Portal. Innovation Portal started like the actual idea and what it is started inside of 2014. Okay. In 2014, just an idea, like really just a kind of catch-all space for some of the innovation activities that was happening inside of the Chamber of Commerce in Mobile. Right. Now, fast forward 2 years, 2016, they have this first big event that is the startup weekend. I go and win that first startup weekend in third place at 16 and having a great time there. I meet Brooks there for the first time. They're doing this interesting stuff that brings entrepreneurial ideas and people together. Right. Fast forward a couple more years, the big thing happens that changes it from just being some people who get together and run a couple of events to this physical location that does things and provides this great service to the community. That happens when they get an EDPA grant or EDA grant. This is the Economic Development Administration, the national organization or like agency that provides grant funding for these types of build outs of these innovative centers across America, right? They're grants for like $3-4 million. And the whole idea is for them to go and build this place, right? Just so happens, and this is like kind of point to the perseverance of it all. Just so happens that they go and start building in like 2018 after getting the grant, and then they open like fresh and ready in 2020. And it just so happens that opening a co-working space inside of 2020 is not the best idea. You know, global pandemic people aren't necessarily interested in going into work at that time. Very tough time for the Innovation Portal, but getting through it. And we're able to create this space like through a lot of hard work from the people who decided to found it, that now is like very sustainable, has mixes of funding that isn't just one funder, which is a national funder, right? Like there's private funding, there's public funding, there's all types of things that go into allowing like this stuff to happen. Money coming from the city government, money coming from individual foundations, and like there's a good mix that is very healthy for an organization that is a nonprofit to sustain itself for a very long period of time. And like this is why, like I point out, like Todd knows how to do this type of thing because he's done it. He's done it not just one time, multiple times. Because there was another co-working space that wasn't a nonprofit, it was a for-profit company. That is where I met him. Is at the Exchange, right? Okay. And like he ran entrepreneurial events and things like that out of the Exchange, and it was in a different location in Mobile. But like when I point these things out, the biggest gap is just understanding what is possible and seeing the pathways of how to get there, right? And the only way that's going to happen is if you talk to somebody who's done it. And this is
Right.
the great power inside of just being friendly and meeting people, is that you got to be able to be willing to make a new friend at every step of the way. Because a new friend is gonna get you to that next step, and it is just that simple.
Yeah, and then that's like what I figured. I was like, and that it's weird because I'm like, I mean, like I have my community, my group of people, and like, you know, they're awesome people and they're really successful, but I'm like, ain't nobody here kind of like touching the capital that I need, or has like touched the capital that I need to have a conversation with. Like that's, you know, and it almost feels weird sometimes because it's like, who am I? Like, you know, what have I done to be one of these people that creates like a building or this big cultural moment or whatever. But I also just come back to like, you know, who else but me? Like, why not me? Why can't I do it? You know, I mean, like it's scary. It feels really big, and it feels like one of those things where like you become like a giant overnight, and then like you're like, whoa, what's happening? And you know, and I think that I don't feel like I have a tendency to shy away from that, but I do have a tendency to be small because I feel like sometimes that's safer, that's easier. But I'm gonna go insane if I don't do more with the ideas that I have, and that's what's really just driving. It's complete insanity and delusion at this point that's driving me.
Here's the thing. Complete insane delusion like sets you in a great position to make some new friends, to talk to people, build relationships, because at the end of the day, especially when it comes to money and like large moves and things like that, it is so much so just built on a bunch of relationships. Like when we sit and talk about like how we get funding for like Unlock Alabama and many things at the innovation portal, like the thing that I realized, especially like over the 2 years I've been working here, like so much of everything is just relationships between people. Because like the person who is like close to a whole bunch of people and the first person that person thinks of for X, Y, and Z, like the more likely that person is going to succeed inside of everything, right? Like it takes you actually truly not delivering on what you say you're going to do, like lying to people to actually fail, right? And so like this is something, and it all like kind of comes together when you start like trying to kind of see, kind of looking at how like the most successful folks in history like kind of look like. The thing that I always go to when I'm mentoring folks is like I point out like the book How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. Dale Carnegie is one of the most richest people in history, right? Like here in America. But like the book that he wrote is timeless, simply because he doesn't talk about like how he made money in steel. He doesn't talk about how he made money in railways. He talks about like how do you get close to a person so that person wants to work with you and do something with you. Like it's simple. It's dead simple. And people don't think we've been the same 100 years ago as they are now. Like he talks about how to make friends and influence people to do things that you want them to do with you, and that's the whole book. And it's a short book that's very straightforward. It's like, all right, so after you get in and talk to somebody for the first time, this is a person who's superior to you. You need to send them a thank you letter. Like this is basic stuff put in here, but like that's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Yeah, no, and I feel like every good opportunity in my life so far has just come from me putting myself out there, which I don't know. It's like weird because I did that. That's how I got my job at like Amazon all those years ago, and things have been great, and I was able to do all this great stuff. And then like the layoffs really took a huge hit off of me. Like, the first one sucked. The second one, like it sucked, but then the third one was just kind of like, all right, that's like insult to injury. It was like 4 years and 3 layoffs, and I know it was mostly because of the fact that I was always a remote worker, but I always did my job, always did really good at my job. But I know it was the fact that I was a high earner, and I mean, like it wasn't like super high, but I was a high earner, and I was just a liability at that point. So I was an easy sort of write off, and that's why I'm in this weird place because I feel like I need to return back to sort of the stability of making 9 to 5 money, but also is it really stable anymore? It's really not. But now trying to find ways to generate income completely on my own is totally foreign to me. Like this is totally foreign. I'm used to a paycheck.
Hard transaction. It's a hard transition. Yeah.
It's a very hard transition. I feel like I'm making it really, really quickly because I don't have much time left. Like I don't have parents that can like help me out. And like, the fact that I've survived this long, I got laid off in like February, is a testament to just, like my grit or whatever. But but all these things I used to be a really, really confident and out there person. And I still am to an extent, but when it came to like my work and like who I was as a designer, I feel like right now I'm rebuilding all of that from the ground up because I think that I'm just fundamentally different than who I was when I first started this entire career path. And I don't know, it's just been really confusing. Lots of sleepless nights and trying to figure things out. But
let me okay. I got laid off 3 times as well while I was living in California. Right, I was in person. I was in person, and the tough part about it is that like California is not cheap rent. It's not cheap rent.
It's no Alabama.
Laid off. No, it's not.
No Alabama.
and so like the first place that I got laid off from was the first job that I had, and it's like all 3 of these layoffs happened in the course of like really 2 years. Because like the first one happened, I wasn't even there for a year, and that first layoff happened for me. Like it was the first job out of college, moved to California, didn't even stay at the company for a year before they laid everybody off. Right. And the next layoff happens. Like I was able to stay at that company for about a year and a half before they did a layoff. And the thing that I came from that very first layoff and then getting into that second one. The only reason why I was able to get into that job was because I got a referral from somebody who also got laid off, right? Because they got to a job first and they said, "Come on, man, I got on the first, I got on the ship and everybody there." It just so happened that the company that he was that he referred me to because he was working there was giving a little bit of money to people every time they hire somebody they refer. So he was very interested in helping me get there because he knew my work was good. Right. But the only reason why that happened was because I was good at making relationships. Right. Like I kid you not, the only interaction I actually had with that man, because me and him didn't work on the same teams. Right. Okay. The only interaction that I had with him was when I was in college and I was an intern with them, and they had came to Morehouse to do like a talk to be able to try to recruit some people. Right. And after that, like the only interaction I had with him, he was one of the people who came to Atlanta that day because he was on a different group with of the company going and like recruiting at Georgia Tech. And so we all came together for dinner, and he had a good time at dinner with me. That was the only interaction we had. And he's like interested in trying to refer me for the job to be on his team at the next place, right? So that's how I get into the next role. What I thought at that point was like, because I've had this entrepreneurial like itch inside of me for a very long time. All throughout college, I was doing little things to try to make money. I did photography. I got into like all the different research things that I could do to pay you a little bit of money because you just extra time in college. And when I got out of college, and I was working at that first place. I was just focused on that first place. And then when I got laid off and then got into the new job, I was like, I'm gonna figure out how to make some money on the side too, because I saw what would have happened if I didn't have bro right behind, and I need to make sure that I'm good. And so I started doing contract work at that point, and I started learning how to do contract work and how to make that happen from folks that were like doing it in California. And I was like just trying to like hang out, learn from them. Be a good friend, understand how they do their business. And it all really came from me just hanging out and talking to them, understanding how they did stuff, how they got new clients. And so like doing that got me to a point where when the layoff happened the second time, I was good. Like, I'm like, look, at the end of the day, they just gave me some severance. I know I got this amount of time to get to the next job, and I'm already doing 2-3 contracts. So really I could extend that out if I wanted to. Right. And now, like the mindset isn't like, oh my gosh, I need to figure out how I can get out of California. It's now more on the side of like, how can I get to that next job quick enough to where I can double my money with my severance? Right. Like that's what I'm thinking about at that point. Yeah. Right. But the only reason it's like that is because like I'm talking to people, I'm keeping the connections. And I recognize like what really blew my mind and inside of this about just really trying to make deeper connections with as many people as possible. There was another guy on our team, and the interesting thing about that team that I was at, everybody on that team was like not a U.S. citizen, So like many of those people who got laid off, they just had to go back to their country, right? Like unless they got a job within the next like 2-3 months, they had to go back to their country because they're not working, right?
Yeah.
And so what I recognize is that some of the people started getting hired out into different places early. Because what happened, because all those folks who are not U.S. citizens, they talk to each other, and they talk to each other a lot. And I remember there was one guy on our team, he talked to everybody. He was the first one to go before the layoff happened. And the thing about it, I remember we was sitting inside of a meeting, like a little party, like sending him off to the next company he was going to. And he was like dropping hints. He was like, yeah, man, I don't know if we're gonna be staying here so long. Cause like it happened so crazy because he was so on point. He almost knew exactly when the layoff was gonna happen because he had talked to so many people. He was so close to so many people at the company because he would just be such a friendly person, right? Like, oh my gosh, you want to sit down and talk to this guy all the time. And it literally got to the point where he had his job offer and we were sitting there partying with him. And it was like literally the day before they announced the layoff. And he was upset. He was upset. The reason why he was upset because he missed out on the severance. And that was the thing. Because he understood it so well. But it's because he was friends with everybody. There was nothing gonna get past him. And it was not gonna be a possibility of him being in a bad situation because he knew everybody. Everybody was friends with him. And that's the thing that was like, oh my gosh, I need to make sure I need to get better at talking to people. I need to get better at making friends.
So what I'm hearing is I need to become a socialite.
That's that. Here's the thing. Like being able to build really strong relationships, it's not something that has to be like your whole thing. It's just the fact that you do it, right? Yeah. Because like even like some of the folks at the first startup that I worked at, like they're in great places, they're doing things right. Mm. I get reached out by some of those people sometimes, and I can tell you right now, because most of those people at that startup that I was working at first, like all in PhDs, they're like very, very, very much so highly educated folks. And some of them started startups, some of them working at different places. And like the thing that I recognize is that like a lot of people I never talk to, like they're just very antisocial folks. But the fact that we worked at the same company and they could recognize me on the street because we were inside of meetings together and stuff like that, they're latched on. They're like, hey man, what's going on with you? How you doing? And the thing about it is that like it's not just the fact that those like highly successful people who are like still being highly successful after layoffs and everything else, like that they're so social, is that they're willing to build a relationship, right?
Yeah.
And like for example, a guy had reached out to me today. He had saw my post on LinkedIn on one of our old bosses like posts, right? So he recognized me just looking at the picture or even the message that I put, like reminding him of what we were doing at the place we were working at. And he reached out to me. This man has never reached out to me, never talked to me. I've been in meetings with this man and not said a word to him. He reached out directly to me and said like, hey man, what's going on? Let's talk. I was like, let's talk. Who are you?
I feel that.
Yeah.
Man, I got to get more social. I feel like that's what that's definitely probably, oh God, I got to step out of the house. I got to post more. I got to do stuff. We'll see. We're not gonna see. We're gonna figure it out because we literally have to.
Ooh, but one thing also, you should also talk to Titan. Titan is running. What's the name? Alabama Creates. Yeah, he's running Alabama Creates specifically for creative people in Alabama. He's in Birmingham. He's in and out of the Innovation Depot all the time. You should talk to him. He's running programs that are specifically for people like you.
I think I might have met him. I think I might have met him at SauceTech, maybe.
Did he walk up at that meetup when Doc was there? Do you remember? Because I didn't talk to him.
They missed each other.
Okay.
Right. Titan came really early,
and then Doc came a little bit later. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Cool. Well, no, I followed them on Instagram, so I mean, I'm more than happy to reach out to them.
Reach out to Titan. Yeah.
To Titan.
Titan. That's his name. I can send it to you too. But Titan, you should talk to Titan as well. Todd's number one for what you're interested inside of doing, right? Yeah. And he will give you some great advice. Titan's your next step because he's going to help you either get a job or get some clients.
And that's all I need. That's all I need right now. And then we can let the fun continue.
There you go.
But I will say it is getting a little late.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the entire 8 weeks. Again, really sorry that I was not on top of my game like I expected to, but I'm getting, well, I mean, I'm pretty much caught up at this point, but we're gonna get that video out and it's gonna be great.
Love it, man.
All right, and I do really appreciate you guys. But yeah, I will see you guys next week for the watch party, and yeah, I'll keep in touch.
See you in school, man.
Sounds good.
Bye, guys.
See y'all later.
Peace.
All right,
So those few 2 people who are still watching. See y'all later as well.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.
I did. See you, man.